We're riders on the storm today, aren't we? Remember that song, Mike?
Of
It's
course I do.
11:03 EST, time for Mike and me and everyone else who's trading today on this historic day. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to talking to Porter Stansberry tomorrow. Guy's, been around a long time and advises a lot of people. So it's going to be interesting to hear what his reaction is.
He's got the name for it. What a great name. I just want to hand the money just to begin with that last name.
Stansberry, yeah. Well, you've heard of Stansberry research, right?
Actually, I have not. It doesn't mean that it's any good or not, but go ahead.
Okay, okay.
Not as old as you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you
Is that like
will.
is that something Woody would say?
Uh, I don't know. Hopefully you do become as old as me. That's my hope for you, that you make it. Um, so let's talk about, what you're thinking going into this election. And, I've been looking for a pullback in the dollar. It's trying, but it's really grudgingly giving it back. Everyone's waiting for a result. We'll see. I don't think we're going to know for a while. Um, Also, yeah, Mike noticed on my yen chart, I have Wiley. So, it could gap up and then blow me out. But under this 50-day that comes in at about 51 and a half, the ledge is going to crack for Wiley and open the door for, 148,
Mhm.
147. So we'll see. Yields, I tell you, they tried to give some back yesterday, and here they go again. I mean, they've surprised me how strong yields are. So we're putting the Trump trade back on, Mike. Here's DJT. It bounced yesterday with follow through today, but I don't know. It's near the bottom of the range. Who do you think is going to win? The market cares. It probably really doesn't matter long
I
term.
think the Fed on Wednesday is more important short term than the election short
O-
election. I do.
Okay, okay. What do you think the Fed's going to do? Go a quarter?
I don't know. But
Okay,
I think the ultimate short term decision is more makes it more of a difference, for lack of a better term, in the markets at this moment.
okay. So I'm starting to look at some natural gas royalty trusts. It's kind of a pure way of
Sure,
getting
I'm
income.
interested. You're good at this trade.
Yeah, it's really cheap. I mean, most of these trusts are pretty cheap. I really believe in, normally it's a technical argument that gets me, excited about a trade. But the fundamentals of, everyone's been trying to play uranium, and they've done well. There have been some nice swings in uranium, but it's just not as handy near term as using natural gas for the bridge to power all the AI stuff
Right.
that's coming down the road. So I think it makes sense to have some exposure
I
to
agree.
nat gas. Find an instrument that suits your tastes.
Matter of fact, we're buying a couple now. I'll tell you
Oh,
after you're done.
cool, cool. All right. So as far as the S&Ps are concerned, I thought I'd just show this. They're having a good day, but I want to show the daily, and at least you have a line in the sand for tomorrow to get out of the way. And people have been talking about this too, Mike, is holding the
Yeah.
50-day.
Uh-huh. Of course.
Right. So we'll see. Maybe we'll blow to new highs. It won't confirm. And, I'm looking for 6,000 or better before this thing has a bigger correction. So maybe this is just drive one of three. Anyway, pay attention to the 50-day. Gets through the 50-day. I don't know. Could open the door for much lower numbers. We'll see. And TLT, it's trying to bottom, but
Taking
it
calls.
just feels heavy
Taking
still.
calls.
Are they?
They are.
Okay. Okay. So there you go. There's a reason to stay in. Have your stop not exactly at this low. Um, they're saying a red sweep is going to kill the bond market. So
I
I
heard
think,
that's right.
yeah, so that's what I think yields are pricing in a red sweep. Because I'll tell you what, I did expect a rally to four. I think this is the first time in Federal Reserve history that they've lowered their first rate cut, and it was a big one, and then have the market just in their face after what they did. Okay, so the bottom was when they eased by a half, and then one guest that we've had on, Bob Elliott, I saw a tweet by him, and he's saying the more the Fed eases, the worse it gets for the long end of the market, and TLT is definitely the long end of the
Right.
market.
Right. Well put,
Okay.
coach. I love
Yeah.
it.
So I don't know. It's an I don't know to me. I have a hard time getting bearish down here. Almost got stopped out Friday. I guess I'll just see what happens tomorrow. Dollar's on track, but it's giving, I've been selling this stuff from 3.5 and selling all the way up here.
Hmm.
I'm thinking,
Wow.
one of our other guests, uh, Margot, is her stuff is looking for a low around 313. I was figuring at least 38% back, 102.88. And I would use dollar weakness, which means, if Kamala wins, they're going to sell off the dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I'd use that weakness to buy the dollar. So I still think there's another wave left. But for now, we're short. The three drive trade from 360 is working. You have almost 70, 80 pips. Aussie worked from the lows. In fact, the Aussie has the most juice.
I love that pair for some reason.
Do you like Aussie?
I just,
Uh,
it's very, it seems
it's
to,
because,
see, everybody seems to do well in it, if I will.
okay. Well, trades with China,
Look, there you
and
go.
China's having a good day too, right?
Yeah, it is. It's not over either. And by the way, China calls are exploding.
Okay.
January's another. I have TGH
All
here.
right.
Let me
All
go.
right.
I'll show
All
you
right.
that.
All right. So that include Baba?
No, Asher, the indexes, they don't care. ASHR is the symbol.
Okay. I was just looking for
Oh, you know what?
Baba.
No, it's the other one. I'm sorry. C-Web.
Anyway, look at these financials are blowing. They look like they're going to have another high. Anyway, I'm going to turn over the screen to you, Mike, and everyone, I've bored people to death with my looking for a pullback in the dollar, looking for Wile E. Coyote to fall off the ledge. We'll
He usually
see.
always does too. Every episode he falls off the ledge at least
He
once.
does. I mean, it breaks. The road runner's here. He's chasing him. He's got nowhere to go. Um, maybe he'll do some rock climbing after the election. I don't know,
Then
but
when does Yosemite Sam step in, Coach? Who's that?
I think that's a different I think different cartoon.
Oh,
But he was quite the gunslinger.
yeah, he was.
So
He had a
I
Napoleon complex too. He's about 3 feet tall, and he acted like he was 8 feet tall. Love that guy.
yeah.
I got
So
my
to
inspiration from him.
so you know, energy's acting good. WTI's after this gap down,
Yeah,
it held. So I don't know. I prefer nat gas even though it's lower today. I think it has a better pattern, stronger pattern. So that's it. That's what I see. Metals are bouncing. They should bounce if the dollar's going to weaken. I'm still not looking for new highs. I knew people would come in at 32 and a half. So this is pretty important, this 32 and a half level in silver. It's a fib retracement. It's checking a breakout. Um, gold silver ratio's heading down,
it is.
but
Good
yeah,
point.
and gold X heavier. I think you have time to buy gold again. So I'm going to turn the charts over to you, Mike, and tell us what you're seeing. You filled us in with TLT calls, and a lot of China calls are going off today.
Well, you know what?
Okay.
One of the negatives of being an active manager is that sometimes if you want positions to work, you don't watch them. And
Yeah.
arguably, no, actually not arguably in the top five, unarguably in the top 10 all year long has been this stock taking calls. Planeteer. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
You've been talking about this one for weeks.
Well, there it is. Okay. So
Mm.
I don't know if Planeteer, I don't think it's a short squeeze. That's not a short squeeze type of chart. That's a FOMO chart. Uh, I'm not saying it's a blow off anything. I'm not handling it that way. There's always something to do. So
It's
I
a
understand
it's
the
a
big there's
it's a
as we
breakaway
said
gap.
that it's not the Mag 7 anymore. Microsoft chart looks bearish as they come.
Yeah. They do all this action since July looks corrective.
Okay, fine. All right.
Yeah.
Amazon, after the had after earnings is I guess hanging in there. I don't know. I'm not sure. Apple. Okay. I mean, if Apple was that gold stock you were just talking about, you would think it taken a short with your gold dissertation. If that was a goal, if that was right. So what's the
Yeah.
difference? It's Apple.
Yeah.
I'm
Chart's a
not. I'm
chart.
just saying. And here, by the way, and if I go to TGH for this is how I'm handling it. Let me go macro, and a couple of things that I would like to do. And you pointed out or quoted some of the esteemed guests on TGH that you bring in. Please go to the red YouTube icon, and you can not only see Coach's videos every day, Coach and I every day. You can go past live streams and even the guest speakers to go or compare or watch the coach gives. And by the way, if you look at these names right here, a lot of them are esteemed, if not have authored several trading books, several in the top 10. I digress.
Our guest tomorrow is prolific.
Right
He's
here.
he has many books out. Yeah.
Got a great name, like I said. And there it is right now. And by the way, go all to TGH's media sites, if you will. It's posted everywhere. And if I go to in the corner of my eye, and I'll get back to my point, on election eve, the VIX is down 7% to the 20 area. As by the way, good point, Coach, breaking highs. But let's go to this election situation, if you will, start to sound like some game showy. If you want to buy protection, this is the spot. And before I get to the chart, if it was a stock, would you thinking about buying it on a dip? The answer is yes. The VIX coming down to the 200 day. It's got a gapper and everything like that, but broke through new highs on volume, or at least didn't break through that double topper, if you will, or triple top, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Pulled back into a gap, coming on low volume, pulling back to the most of the moving averages. To me, you know what that says? It's going to take time, or it's binary. If it's going to take something, no matter what the entity is, the VIX. By the way, we are into an election eve, and to be redundant, to repeat myself, I don't even think I'm being redundant. It's major, and then we have the Fed into Wednesday.
Yeah. Thursday.
What Thursday? I'm sorry. Apologize. I'm so
That's all
short.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what that being said is, you know, do you take protection's cheap? How can protection be cheaper after these stocks have been bifurcated into earnings and you're getting closer to what seemingly is a very sensitive area? It just I don't does it make sense? Price action trumps sentiment. And I also don't want to be negative. It's a stat. The market tries to fool many people as once. I don't know what to do with that, but it's
Okay.
certainly.
Well, we talked about that last week, that a lot of people were moving to the sidelines, and that the pain trade would be that they'd have to chase it after the election because they're getting out because of fear of downside. So the pain trade is for the market to come in higher when they get up tomorrow morning.
I appreciate that and well articulated, and I'm going to expand on that. There's the fear and greed index.
Okay, we're at fear. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
so I understand that. Is it because guess genes? is here. I don't, hold on. I don't know. Is this helping this type of sentiment? Chevron went, they had earnings the other day, went from looking the worst, went to first. Now it's looking at a nice base here with oil at night. This looked hard. Chevron was an earnings report away from being blown out. Now it's building bases.
Looks
Just after
good.
what, 5 days? Is that
I
Chevron?
like it. I
Forget
like
about
it.
something like Planeteer. Is fear and greed in Planet? Is the fear and greed? Does that imply that people are fearful that they're not in Planeteer, or are they fearful that they're down in Microsoft?
I think they're fearless on both
Okay,
because
that's a good
okay,
high level of. I happen to agree. So
okay,
that's why it's there. I don't
yeah.
listen.
I
And
think I
with
think the fear comes later next year.
okay,
Um,
I
but
agree. By
uh,
the
the,
way,
I
but
but
why?
I think that their people are mainly fearless. They have let's see, what's it called? Linear something. Anyways, recency bias. There's no reason to be bearish. My buddy's son in Chicago is managing his dad's $11 million
Nice.
portfolio, thinks he knows everything.
Okay.
He's only 40 years old. He's never seen a bear market.
Anyways, recency.
So anyway,
The good thing
no
for him
one,
is you learn more in bear markets than you do bull markets. So
well, he's
he'll
going to
learn even more
learn.
in the pullback.
He's going to learn because,
I hope it's not too bad. I've been there.
I, yeah, anyway, well, we'll see. Tune into Porter tomorrow because, basically, it's not really the problem is not a party or a candidate. The problem is unsustainable debt loads. And as rates go up, servicing the debt gets more difficult. And no one is talking about doing anything about the budget. All
May I,
the campaign promises are going to cost money.
may I paraphrase?
Yeah.
We've been through several elections, bombings, uncertainty, disease. The thing that besides COVID, COVID, by the way, it even made a V-shaped move back. Is it came down to when Japan flinched and it was down 2 days in a row since it all came down. It comes down to money.
Okay. Well, Japan was peaked in 89 and didn't bottom for 20 years.
Well, I'm talking
So
about when
I know,
when the Nikkei had that 12% dip in 2 days going back a few months
during
ago.
the carry trade unwind.
Right.
I'm just saying that even you, Mike, don't remember bear markets. You weren't in the business when we had bear markets. Were you in the business in the 70s?
Uh, I wasn't in the stock business, but I was
Okay.
rolling somehow.
All right. Between, for 10 years, we traded between like 600 and 900 on the Dow. It was a bear market. And underneath the averages, it was rougher. So I'm saying most traders that are in the game today have never really seen a bear market. They've seen sharp corrections and panics, but not a bear market that lasts for years. So, can't expect anyone to think that could happen if they haven't seen it in their lifetime. So,
Well, I don't know. I've
that's
seen, maybe I've seen stock. I mean, believe me, I watched Square, 2 years ago from 81 to 37. I mean,
yeah.
that's, you don't, it doesn't necessarily, indices don't have to be, well, you know what? I haven't been through it, so I can't speak. So we'll move.
I'm just saying,
No, I get it. I get it.
this bull market started in 82. So, we're talking about 43 years. So, unless you're in your mid 50s or 60s, you weren't around for bear markets.
No, I'm
You
not.
don't remember them. Anyway, we'll remember this next one, I think. Square still looks all right. It's
We're
not
talking
doing
about
anything wrong.
43 years. So
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was playing your video elsewise. I needed
Oh,
to
okay.
I needed to hear you twice.
Okay. Um, so natural gas stocks doing anything?
Yeah, they are. I'll tell you what I bought. Good question. Pfizer. Not saying you short Pfizer here, but is this why the market people are fearful? I mean, I don't know if mom and pop hold this thing anymore. Probably my mom has this in some sort of fund, but maybe people if fearful of Pfizer pull back 20%. I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
what a putrid rally from April. And the August
Horrible. I'm
rally
sure
never
that
even took out the July high. July highs in most charts have been blown away.
I shorted it 2 nights ago because I was grasping for a short, and the best thing that I could find, by the way, hint was only Pfizer. So I was ecstatic. I made like 20%, 20 cents on it, if you will, like the old days. Okay,
Yeah,
what did
maybe
I
it's going
buy?
for new lows.
The
Yeah.
two the two IPI Bill Flag, Mick. Good guy. I saw it this morning. Two stocks that have been acting the most. I'm not biased. It is SU, Suncor Energy,
That looks good. As long
and
as it holds out, it's really been respecting that moving average.
oh, Coach, RRC. Not as bad as that you would. I mean, if you put natural gas onto RRC, which by the way had earnings the other day and acted pretty well, those are the two. RRC, Coach. And the reason why I picked this, it's not because this thing, if it ever turns, RRC, there's the weekly. So you want to talk about relative strength versus natural gas.
Yeah, that's huge.
SU has been still. I said something before the top 10 calls going off, which is Planeteer, probably top five, like I said, when I think about it again. SU, top 10. That's against natural gas. This isn't Suncor Energy. This has a lot of nat gas in it, man. This stock is a behemoth.
Boy,
And
is
it's
this
taking
held up.
calls. I'm biased was. I have this.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's going to blow through that 42 level, man.
I
And
like this.
that's going to go, yeah,
And the
it's
other
going to
one,
at least
CRK,
retest up there.
CRK,
Yeah.
Comstock Resources. Huge natural gas. Go to the weekly in this. Oh, all right. So you might get it could hurt. Considering what type of trend it is and what type of that's a weekly and natural gas, and it could blow you up and go to 10 one day. But you know what? This type of situation, I'd be buying calls out of the money. I think you risk a dollar to make 30%, 40% on this thing. This is the weekly. If nat gas goes.
How
I like
about cannabis issues, Mike? I think that demand is going to skyrocket for people just to be able to cope.
I'm hoping that TGH membership would go up if that's the case. We could take
Uh,
care of you here. You could sing a
anyway,
couple of days. You could sing at least once a day, and that will help people cope.
no,
How
no, I went into a Cure Leaf store when I was in Chicago.
Yeah, no, I know the company.
You know it?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, so it's a big deal in Florida if they pass the referendum, they need 60%. Anyway, it's
Everybody's
sure,
coach. You know what? This has been so long to move the legislation. It's boring me.
I know.
Get it over with.
But that's how it is, when it's building a base. And look, it's building a base above the low from last March, which is interesting.
I bet
So
you
it's a
this is the big.
higher low.
That's the
Um,
one right there. ACB.
I
Aurora
they
Cannabis. It's the one
yeah,
technically that always holds. CGC, we used to be the best. Then there's Telray, blah, blah, blah. Then there's Crone. Then there's MJ, which is the ETF. You want to do something, the stock to own, and 5% of your portfolio, 3% is by 5,000 shares of ACB. If it's going to work, the whole thing, it's going to work. That's the one.
yeah, I got out after the reverse split.
I know it.
It had like $8. So
That's my
yeah,
dissertation on that one. ACB,
okay,
nothing.
all right.
Your portfolio. Oh,
Look at that, 5.7 we've cracked on subscribers. That's
yeah.
about 250 in the last 3, 4 weeks. Okay, let's keep growing. You have any questions for Mike and me going into the election?
Nice,
Jeff?
Jeff. Jeff, I
Yeah.
swear to God, I was hoping you held the lemonade. Nice buy, man. I
All
remember when
right.
Jeff he asked us about the limit. I think I gave an actually appropriate dissertation, if I'm correct. Regardless if I did or not, I'm glad you're in it. Nice trade. AIG.
Wow. Yeah. Still looks good.
It does look good. Lemonade, car insurance. You know what? I read CarMax. That stock's in trouble, I hear. Nice, Jeff. Yeah, that's it. So we're all good, Coach. Listen, this is how, can I finish?
Yeah,
These, let me remind everybody, if you will, how I handle, the morning I say is for rookies, kind of smash and grab. The middle of the days, they used to say, lunchtime trading used to be calmer. And a lot of people used to come back at like 1:32, but now obviously it's more universal. And as I always say, and coach, most of our guests will edify this, and we didn't make it up, is the smart money comes at the close. So yesterday was Monday, which was election, which I handled like the morning. It was everybody's readjusting after the weekend. The election this was yesterday being the next day, today, Tuesday. Coach reminded me that Fed is Thursday now. Today is like lunchtime trading. It's election day. Sit
yeah.
back and watch.
I mean,
Tomorrow,
who's going to
tomorrow,
build,
tomorrow, if there is any result,
or if there
regardless,
isn't?
if there isn't, it's going to be treated like the close. That's where
Yeah,
smart money will start to step in. It started with
yeah.
Carl Icahn.
They'll start. They'll start tonight. I
The
know
smart,
guys.
right? I'm saying now is
I
day trade, right? Good.
Yeah, I know guys that are staying up all night.
Yeah, and you got
Okay,
one of them.
you're going to be up all night trading this stuff,
No,
bro.
no, I won't. I have
Okay,
my
yeah.
plan. No, I won't.
Anyway, I mean, the polls close in New York in what, about 12 hours, 10 hours. So anyway, I do know guys that are manning their desks for this night. So, uh, I mean, who's going to build, like, take a huge shot on a binary event today? I think
Somebody
it's
that's
about,
usually somebody that's, you know what? Okay, I'll tell you this stat. Somebody that's you either usually down a lot or up a little bit. There's no in between. If you're like even, who's going to risk their year, in the beginning of November right now, when if they have cash in the sideline, they're even, they can deploy it after a move. So you're either down a lot or you're up a little bit and you're going to say, I have a little bit of cushion. Let me try to make a little stab. That's what I would think.
and you know what? I think you can trust your charts.
Yeah,
That no matter what the outcome is, that your charts, what they're laying out for you, will be fulfilled regardless, even though there could be spikes around this election for, maybe for weeks. Maybe it's going to look like, oh, well, she's got it. Now he's got it. And there's a challenge. So he's got it again. It's going to be ping pong, like you said, Mike.
well, and
Like
that's
Mark is
coach.
playing
That
ping
I
pong.
appreciate that. That's why we try to simplify it and just go with it. Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. I think I proved to a degree. It's not the tell all that option sweeps are a major tool that you must have to at least look at. If you're not, you're losing an edge. Is that correct?
Yeah,
That's where the
you
money's
are.
going to show us afterwards. Trust
That's
me.
where
Just
people,
try it. Try one day. Get the demo. If you don't have the demo, I don't care. If you don't try it,
write it down on paper. Do, paper trade, whatever. Whatever, follow these option sweeps. I usually don't find out about them because uh, there's so much posting. Sometimes you have to go through all the stuff
that's
to
true.
find the
But
sweeps.
it's my job or our job to disseminate, which is, a good the positive ones. I'm not trying to hear
Yeah,
less is better. I'm not here. I only have like option sweeps today. I got 6 stocks. Probably 30 came along today.
yeah.
So that's my
Should
job.
probably have a
I'm like a concierge. You come into town, I'm not going to give you a place that doesn't have good food. Some things don't. I'm the guy that knows where to go to the better ones. That's all. And over time, you'll say the guy's right.
On the left, how they have all those things, there should probably be a section for option sweeps where people could go right to where the option sweeps, post the option sweeps there.
Yeah, but then
And
nobody will listen to
she'd
me.
see them all. They'd see them all.
But nobody will listen to me. And then
Don't you think that's a good idea, though? A section for sweeps?
here you go. Here's the first one. Yes, I do. By Bloomberg. Election officials say they're addressing vote counting machine issue in Pennsylvania. It's a
See
swing
already.
state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This could be a cluster, what? All right. There are many states that won't know for a week. Anyway, Good hunting, everybody. You can sit this whole thing out. No one is forcing you to do anything. Okay. I guarantee you the markets will not shut down on this event. So they'll be here, make sure your equity is. And, if you're going to trade this stuff, use less leverage. Okay. Let your trades breathe a little bit. And
But,
for people that are new, let the dust settle.
well, I
Don't be a
also want,
hero.
if you get the demo, a professional sailor never learned to sail in calm seas. I'm not saying you got to go all in. You don't. If you're not, just get in there. Just
Yeah.
get in.
Yeah. Just
Tops.
get used, you should be on a demo before you go live for 6 months to prove to yourself you could do it. And you know what? Demo is not a great test because you don't have the emotion of money. That's why I like micro lots for new traders. I still think you should go demo for a while. But then when you go live, even if you have $10 at risk, it's still money.
Better than doing
Okay.
it on paper. I've never, you know what? I have a 29-year win streak on paper.
You know what happened when I got stopped out on paper trading?
What? You
I'd
got
have
no
a pay
money.
I'd have a paper cut on my index
Uh,
finger. Yeah. Anyway, that's the worst thing that could happen paper trading. All right, well, good luck the rest of the day, Mike, and tomorrow. Um, if I see some stuff tonight, I'll be posting, and I know you will be too. And Surf's Up is a little under the weather. Let's let him rest, get better.
busiest night of the year. He's under the weather.
Yes,
Busiest
that's
trading day of the last 4 years.
timing is everything.
Ah, no problem.
All right, man. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. You're listening to one of the better teams on the net.
That's true,
Talk,
coach. You lead by
talk.
example. Thanks for leading by example.
All
Cheers.
right, guys, take it easy. See you,
Thanks,
Mike.